Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is PokeTCG Gamer back with another video, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over my Week 7 match versus David, coach of the FC Popplio. I know that there wasn't an NPL Majors video out last week. That's because of the NPL basically took a league-wide break for a week because of Summer Showdown. So that is that. But we are now back. We are sitting at 3-3 after taking a loss to Gypsy last week. If you guys have not seen that, I'll definitely link that in the description below. But we are sitting at 3-3 with a +6 differential, pretty respectable. But with that loss, we actually did drop out of the top 5 currently. So this is definitely going to be an important game, especially going down the stretch where we still have to play the Phoenix Sunkern, coached by Cheese, and the Toronto Star Raptors, coached by Joe, who are currently ahead of us as we enter this Week 7 game. So definitely a very important game. You guys can see the team that we have right here of Mega Sharpedo, Zelf, Roserade, Victini, Audino, and Thunderous. Now, if you guys do not know, we actually played David last season in the NPL Minors, and we did get a little hacks to win that game. And this was actually the semifinals of the playoffs. So, yeah, David's definitely going to be out looking for some revenge. But let's just get into the team that he could bring. This is definitely, I think, one of the hardest matches that I had to prep for, up there with Gypsy and the Birb. But his team consists of Mew, which is a Zeemon, then Garchomp, Decidueye, Keldeo, Klefki, Pelipper, Mega Swampert, Galvantula, Tornai, Houndoom, and Munchlax. Okay, so pretty much, this is my team. Mega Sharpedo, because of the matchup that I had to make a very, very offensive-oriented team. Like, out of my team of 11 Mons, I don't have a single thing that can take 2 hits from Mega Swampert. I don't. Even if I go max defense Audino, that's 2-hit KO'd in the rain. It wouldn't be 2-hit KO'd out of the rain, but he could even run Superpower at that. So I don't have any switch-ins to the Mega Swampert at all. So that's why the team is going to look very, very offensive and just attack and go, and things like that, and set up hazards when I have the opportunity. And basically the win con is Thunderous, which is basically another thing about this matchup. Like, I really didn't think anything had like a really good matchup, so it was kind of tough figuring out what I wanted to bring other than like Azelf for rocks. Mega Sharpedo did have a nice matchup, and then Thunderous had a nice matchup, but everything else I felt didn't really have a really good matchup, so I had to just think of what I want to do with the team. So we have this Mega Sharpedo with Protect, Waterfall, Ice Fang, and Crunch. Obviously, when we Mega, we get the boost to our Fang, to our Ice Fang, and our Crunch. But the speed boost is there, so if we do get the +2 speed, we are guaranteed to outspeed Mega Swampert in the rain. Now, we could have went with 263, which would also guarantee us outspeeding Mega Swampert in the rain if we're not Mega Evolved. But I just wanted to add 2 extra speed just in case he went like 264 on something, and like on a Scarfer or something, and just because he knew that we'd go 263 on our Sharpedo, so I just add 8 extra EVs into speed. Obviously max attack just to maximize our damage. 80 in defense is just to better help versus just this team in general. Like, if I was gonna take a hit like on this thing, I guess it'd be from like predicting a waterfall, I guess, from his Mega Swampert. But that's pretty much it for Sharpedo. The coverage is pretty self-explanatory. It does hit his entire team very, very hard. I almost brought Psychic Fangs, but one, I didn't really expect the Keldeo. And 2, I wanted Ice Fang to better hit the to Oko the Garchomp if I'm Mega Evolved. So yeah, that is pretty much it for my Sharpedo. Next up, we have a Sash Azelf. Bring this a lot, but it's just very, very effective. It does what I need to do, gets up its rocks. This week we have Stealth Rocks, Magic Coat, Knockoff, and Explosion, so fully physical. Knockoff, just get rid of items like Decidueye, maybe if it has an item, Mew if it's support, if he leads with like Scarf Torn, and tries to just like knock off or something, I can knock off and then I'd outspeed the next turn. Explosion, obviously, just to boom and get out of there, and he doesn't have the best explosion switching, so there's that. And Magico to help versus the Klefki, so the Klefki cannot Thunder Wave us and it can't set up spikes versus us, which is very, very nice. The speed is for his Torn Eye, so that is pretty much the Azelf set, pretty straightforward. So next up we have this Roserade with the Toxic Spikes, the Sleep Powder, the Giga Drain, and the Sludge Bomb. With that 192 defense, we're guaranteed to live in Adamant, Mega Swamper's Earthquake, which is very nice. Obviously I don't need the Technician this week, so this is why we have Natural Cure. T-Spikes are just very, very nice versus his team. Hits things like the Mew, hits things like the Garchomp, the Decidueye, the Keldeo. It pretty much hits his entire team, like obviously Pelipper and Torn Eye avoid it, and Klefki's immune to it. It's very effective. It wears that Mega Swampert too, which is very nice. Sleep Powder, because we can put something like the Torn Eye to sleep. And the speed, once again, is to outspeed a Jolly Mega Swampert outside of the rain. So that is pretty much that for the Roserade. The rest of our EVs is dumped into special attack with a modest nature to hit pretty much as hard as we can. So yeah, that is going to be it for that. So next up we have Victini with a very, very interesting set this week with Trick Room, V-Create, Bolt Strike, and Energy Ball. So if you look at his team, he doesn't really appreciate Victini under the Trick Room, even though he has the Rain, which weakens the V-Create. It's still going to hit the Klefki super hard. Bolt Strike hits the Pelipper. Bolt Strike hits the Keldeo, Energy Ball hits the Mega Swampert, Bolt Strike hits the Torn Eye, Bolt Strike hits the Houndoom pretty hard, and V-Create hits everything else, and even in the rain, things like Klefki and Decidueye are still going to take a lot from V-Create. We didn't really mess with the IVs because with the 212 speed, I'm as slow as I want to be under Trick Room, and I'm still decently fast to outspeed things like Pelipper if it's not offensive outside of Trick Room and things like that. So that is pretty much it for that. So next up we have Audino with the Trick Room, Healing Wish, Grass Knot, and Toxic. This thing can chew a hit from Swampert and set up a Trick Room. The 44 special attack is due to a KO Swampert after it takes 1 round of Stealth Rocks damage. Toxic just because it hits a lot of things on a team. I can put the Mew on a timer. And Healing Wish just to revive something if I really needed to. And then obviously Regenerator just to get health back if I want to switch out. Pretty much this is kind of a suicide Trick Roomer if I really need it. Like if the Swampert's getting out of control in the rain, the Chop Bear allows me to eat a superpower. I think I'd eat it without it, but I didn't need another item. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the Audino. Suicide Trick Room can Healing Wish and can Grass Knot the Swampert. So last up we have our win con. In Thunderous Eye. So actually I do want to say one thing. When I was going over Magic's team earlier, I did realize that he did have a Tangrowth when we played, but I actually forgot what he wavered the Tangrowth for. But if I remember it, I will definitely mention it. But he did have a Tangrowth, so that was definitely an option that he could have brought. But we brought this Electrium Z Thundurus with Agility, with the Thunderbolt, the Grass Knot, and the HP Ice, hitting the same speed as Sharpedo just because of, like I explained before, 252 special attack with the Modest Nature, and then I put the rest in the HP. There was nothing really specific that I wanted to live, so I just figured I just dumped the rest into HP, and if it helps you go something, like, that's great. But this thing is definitely my win con. Like, if you look at his team, if I get an Agility up, like, I can use the Z move on Mew, I have HP Ice for Garchomp, I have HP Ice to hit the Decidueye, and I actually just realized that, He did not have Decidueye when we played. That is what he had. He had Tangrowth over Decidueye. That is why I couldn't remember. Pretty much he had Tangrowth over Decidueye. So everything I said about Decidueye didn't have, or he couldn't have brought Decidueye for our game, is what I'm trying to say. So sorry about that. But Prankster, just to get a fast agility off, I don't need what is it? I don't need Defiant. Grass Knot, obviously, to hit the Mega Swampert, and pretty much this thing can definitely win if I set it up at the right time, but it's all going to be about setting it up at the perfect moment. So that is going to be it for the team builder, and I will see you guys in the battle. And we are back, guys, and we have the match versus Magic, and as you guys can see, he brought pretty much a full rain team, or like all the rain mons that he could use, I guess, other than, I guess, Torn. But he brought the Keldeo, the Mega Swampert, the Klefki, the Pelipper, the Garchomp, and the Galvantula. So I'm guessing that he saw what I saw in the fact that his Garchomp probably has rocks, Klefki probably has spikes, and he probably wants to hazard stack me to the point where Swampert can just click buttons versus me. The Galvantula could be Scarf Webs, could be Sash Webs, could be Life Orb Webs, I guess. The Pelipper, I wasn't really sure. I thought it could be a bulky set, but it could be an offensive spec set. I'm not really sure yet. The Keldeo, same with that. It can't use Z moves. I'm not really sure what that is yet either. So right here, I'm just going to make my best bet for a lead and lead off with my designed lead in Azelf. Okay, so we lead off with Azelf, and right here I decided I'm just going to get out my rocks. If he's Scarf, he's probably just going to click Volt Switch, and we can just find out if he's Scarf, which would be really nice. So I'm just going to click my rocks, as he does click the Bug Buzz. So now we know, confirmed, that he's Scarfed, and right here I was thinking, should I even bother saving my Azelf? And I decided that I would. Actually, let me just play this turn, because I forgot what I go into. So I switch into my Thunder. So obviously he's locked into Bug Buzz, and I calced with my bulk Bug Buzz doesn't do that much, and now I'm left at 77%. So Thunders, it's still my win con. Like I was fine with taking that 23%, is what I'm trying to say. But right here I double out into my Azelf, as I figured he wouldn't stay in, and now I am just going to Magic Coat. But I probably could have, I considered knocking as well, but I just decided to Magic Coat as he goes into a Swampert, and he can't actually he can't like stay normal to keep the damp, so he actually just has to go back into his Klefki to take the explosion. Now I know he was probably predicting the explosion, to be honest, from his Swampert, that's why I went to his Swampert, but now he goes back into his Klefki as a quick explosion, and it takes 43%, which I'm definitely very happy with. So now I'm just going to go into my Victini, and I'm going to set up the Trick Room as he sets up a layer of spikes. So yeah, I get up the Trick Room, and I'm just going to click V-Create, I think. Oh no, okay, actually, I click Bolt Strike, trying to predict David to like go into his Keldeo or his Pelipper, but he does not do that. So now I'm just gonna click V-Create, I'm pretty sure, as he goes into his Garchomp, and I click V-Create, and I do a clean 37%. So now I think I just stay in, as he protects. Yeah, I stay in, and he is at 57%, and I really was hoping he'd stay in, because if he is Yachi Garchomp, and he switches out and comes in a Rocks, he'd be at 51, and if he's Yachi, he is not in range of HP Ice yet. I really need to get off another, like, 10-ish% to get him in range of HP Ice if he's Yachi, for my Thunders to sweep later. So I just click V-Create again as he goes into his Klefki, sacks it off. Pretty smart play, keeping his Swampert, or keeping his Garchomp healthy, which I was pretty sure at this point was Yachi Berry. So he only gets up one spike, which isn't that bad. So now we're at 27%. As he goes into his Galvantula, I don't have a good switch. I'm just gonna sack off my Victini. I could have went to my Roserade and then Healing Wished up my Victini later, but I didn't do that. So there's that. So now I go on my Roserade, and pretty much I was like, okay, if he's Scarf and he goes for Hurricane right here, I have my one opportunity to set up with Thundurus. At this point, I can T-Bolt the Keldeo, I can T-Bolt the Pelver, I can Grass Knot the Swampert, I can HP Ice the Garchomp, and I can see Thunderbolt the Galvantula. So if you Scarf Hurricane, he's going to click it here, and he is. So this was my opportunity. Now I go into my Thundurus. I'm going to click the Agility as he's just going to go into his, or he stays in Hurricanes, which is it was definitely his best play, because at this point I think he knew I was Agility. So now I Agility as he Hurricanes. He does not get the confusion, which is great, and I just T-Bolt. So at this point, I was like, if he's Yache Berry Garchomp, he's definitely going to go into it now. But he is actually not Yache Berry Garchomp, as this pretty much revealed, as I just clicked my Z move, guaranteeing me the kill on the Galvantula. If he scouted for it, wouldn't have mattered, because then T-Bolt would have killed it if he came back in. But now, he doesn't even go, he goes into his Garchomp now, and so I was pretty sure it wasn't Yache if he didn't go into it first. And you guys are going to see that he is not Yache Berry. He was actually Soft Sand, I think. But now we're just going to click Energy Ball and then click T-Bolt on the Keldeo, and that is going to be good game to David. So we were looking to be in a pretty bad spot, but with Thundurus, with knowing that he was a Scarf Pelipper, we were able to pull it back, and Thundurus actually picks up 5 kills, and at this point, at the end of Week 7, Thundurus is now the kill leader of the NPL, which is very, very nice. I think 13 and 5 is its kill deaths, or whatever. We pick up a nice 3-0 win. We are now 4 and 3 with a +9 differential, and we take on Razor next week in a pretty big match. We are now in 4th place in our conference, so that is very, very nice. We control our own destiny. We just need to keep winning, and we will get into playoffs. So that is pretty much it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.